You are watching On Demand. Please do not try to vote or enter any competition or other interactivity in this programme, as it may not count and you may still be charged.
Women on Thursday, the 3rd of April. What a vocal lot you are. Thank you very much. Joining me, Ruth Langsford, today are Janet Street Porter, Linda Robson, and making her Loose Women debut. Give it up for Kimberley Walsh. Now, coming up today. We predict it right because look, the voice coach and Kaiser Chiefs frontman Ricky Wilson will be here, and we'll be finding out about the latest page-turner from author and wife of Hollywood film star Chris O'Dowd. That's the lovely Dawn Porter. Now, as Prince Andrew's selfie causes controversy, we're asking if selfies are the ultimate act of self-indulgence. Also, less selfie, more selfless. We're talking to the teacher who gave his kidney to save the life of one of his students. Yes, it's an amazing story. But we got us thinking, do you think the Good Samaritan in us all is in danger of disappearing? And if you've got any stories about Good Samaritans, maybe you're one yourself, do let us know. Get in touch. All the details there on your screen of how to do that. Now, as I mentioned, we're joined by former Girls Loud Kimberley Walsh. Welcome. You haven't brought the Girls Loud with you, is that them making all that noise? Or your mum?
A few in there.
Well, welcome.
Thank you, it's lovely to be here, I'm excited.
I suppose it's no different, this is going to be no different really, because you're used to being with your girlfriends everywhere you went, having a chat.
I actually feel quite comfortable, I feel like more back to normal with loads of girls around me, so yeah, this
well,
should
don't
be
know about
nice.
girls, Nan's around you.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, God.
And also, if you don't know, Kimberley's expecting her first baby as well.
I am. It's not just a few extra pounds, there is a baby
How many months now?
I'm like 4.5 months.
4.5 months.
Yeah.
Oh, feeling all right? You're looking very well.
Yeah, I think I'm over the worst of it. Had a little accident,
yes,
so a little broken wrist to deal with, but otherwise pretty good, actually.
Very frightening if you fall over when you're pregnant.
Yeah, you just panic, those instincts just kick in immediately. I thought, no, I can hold my entire body weight on my wrist. No, obviously not.
No, but you're OK.
But I'm good.
And also, you might have seen this headline. Have a look at this. We just wondered if there's any development on this one.
OK.
Now, you see, people are always talking now. Are you going to get married? Is he going to ask you to marry him?
I know. I've been batting this question off for so long, and I thought, finally, when I'm pregnant, they won't ask me that anymore. Surely they'll be more interested in a baby. They ask me more. And I really don't have time to get married at the moment, especially with the baby. But eventually we would like to become a family and get married. But
Justin, take the hint, love. OK. OK, if the view from your window is a little bit foggy today, that's because of this Saharan sand cloud that seems to have settled across the UK, creating this horrible, thick smog. And also pollution from similar winds that brought the sand here have also increased across Europe. So with smog and pollution on everyone's mind today, do we think that we do enough when it comes to taking care of the environment? Are we to blame on this one?
Well, I'm sure that everybody sitting behind this desk is very, very good and could do mastermind in recycling. You know, we love recycling. We all... It appeals to something in women, I think. We like sorting everything out and doing our recycling. But look at those pictures. The pollution isn't just caused by winds from the Sahara. It's caused by people sitting in their cars with their engines running, producing toxic fumes. And, you know,
you can't help but sit in traffic with your engine running if you're in a city, because the traffic's so awful.
Yeah, but if
and
we
the transport's not much better, the public transport.
No, well, if we did, there are a few things that we could do. We could make lorries deliver everything during set hours and not clog up the traffic all day long, and that happens in quite a few European cities. So they say that L deliveries have to be in the very early hours of the morning. We could say that people who don't drive green cars are going to pay triple road tax. We could say to the government, well, you want us all on public transport, why don't you invest millions and millions more
pounds? But we've been saying it for ages, haven't we?
Yeah, but it's obvious. You can't turn around and blame us individuals for that pollution. It takes big policies and brave decisions.
Do you think about it, Linda, when you're, doing your recycling? Because we've all said this morning we're all a bit like, well, I like doing my recycling. But do you think I'm saving the planet by doing that?
I think I'm doing my bit towards saving the planet. But I make sure the lights are all switched off and everything's switched off when I go to bed of a night. I moan at the kids all the time. My son has a fan going. He walks out the room and leaves the fan going, so I go back in and turn the fan off.
You're nodding. Do you leave lights on?
No, I was really, really bad with the fan thing for a while, and it was getting my conscience so much that I downloaded an app instead that makes a fan noise.
Oh, does it?
So that was my way of trying to contribute slightly.
I also go down the bin and take all the recycling out, and I actually go, I say, this is yours, Louis, you've put this in the bin, make sure it goes in the recycling. I'm like recycling police, honestly. I really am.
She's good. No, but is that, Janet, really going to stop smog, carbon monoxide, us doing our little bit of recycling or turning our engine off, and this big industry? I mean, this is a lot of they're saying that this pollution is coming from Europe. It's not even from here.
Yeah, well, they had terrible smog in Paris last week or the week before. But until everywhere starts using cars less, or if we want to use cars, we use them for longer journeys, and we ensure that cars are full of people. I mean, how many times do you go along a busy road and you see car after car with one person in it? We need to share cars, and then
I know, but you all say
yeah, but they're agreeing.
Do you want to go to work in your car with 4 complete strangers like you? Just want to share my car? I don't.
Yes, but you would do it, Ruth, if you got incentives, if you got either vouchers for fuel, or you got some incentive to do it. And also, what about all the people watching this programme who've driven their kids to school and clogged up all the traffic? When those journeys, if they're less than a mile, the kids could be walking. Back in my day,
but what about if you've got children?
Britain, we walked to school.
But what about if you've got more than one child and they all need to be dropped off at different places? Sometimes
why can't
it's a
they
necessity.
all walk?
Because it depends on their age. Because me as a parent couldn't get them to school on time if I had to do that. But I have to say that we did change our car about a year ago, and we have got one of those cars now that the engine turns off when you're at traffic.
Yeah, that's
so that's another little bit that helps.
Yeah, what about your car, Kimberley?
Yeah, I know. I feel very embarrassed sat here because I do have a Range Rover, which I know is not a great car, but I actually don't drive that much.
Yeah. So she doesn't drive it that much. She's probably not.
But it's a good point, though. Yeah. And actually, if I had have been more educated at the time that I bought it, maybe I would have thought about it. And I can honestly say I was a bit ignorant to it. And, I was in a band and I thought, I want this car. And now, as I'm getting older, expecting a baby, my mindset has changed, and I'm trying to be more responsible and think about what kind of planet I'm actually bringing my baby into.
But you see, that's a very good point Kimberley made, because everybody goes, oh, it's all these people driving around in these big 4x4s, but she might do one journey a week, and there's somebody in a much smaller car still emitting, pollution, but it's driving, doing 10 journeys a day. Really, so it's very easy.
We still need drastic action.
Yeah, it's a massive
We do, and Catherine on Facebook, there's so many people who have got respiratory problems, asthmatics, who are really struggling. She said, I've got chronic asthma, and I've stayed indoors for the past 2 days, and it's really worrying me, to be honest. I've just told my best friend to tell the nursery to keep her daughter indoors, but I don't think she's taking me seriously. A lot of people are saying, really, are we overreacting, walking around with masks on?
Obviously, it's not smog like back in the day. When I was really, really tiny, I remember the last huge smog in London when people burned coal fires, and it was like midnight at lunchtime. That was frightening smog.
And also, I was reading an article this morning that said the only reason we're all talking about this and we've noticed it is because of this red sand, and that we've got pollution like this a lot of the time that we don't even hear about, so that's very worrying. Anyway, let us know what you think about all this. Is the pollution affecting you at the moment? As we're talking there, some of our comments. And also, it seems the pollution is not just affecting us, but also the nation's rodents. Apparently, they're growing in size. Look, that's a little tiny Jack Russell. Look at the size of that rat. The super rats, they're calling them now. Ooh. And Janet and Linda, can you believe this? They have volunteered to get up close and personal with some of those little darlings, not us. No, not us. After this. See you in a minute. Hello, welcome back watching Thursday's Loose Women. Great to have your company. Still to come, we've got the voice coach, Oh, should I start that again? The voice coach, Ricky Wilson, and author of The Moment, Dawn O'Porter. But first, we're talking about doing our bit for the environment before the break. And it seems that we have to be more careful with our rubbish because apparently the nation is about to be overrun by a breed of super rat. There's one in that little Jack Russell's mouth. Look how small that dog is and how big that rat is. And they're apparently getting bigger because they're eating all our rubbish and leftovers that we chuck out. Now, we're safe over here.
I'm so happy to be here.
Luckily for us, Janet and Linda, they volunteered to be over there. Have a look at this.
I don't know if we volunteered. They volunteered us.
I thought for one moment she's going to say Janet and Linda are getting bigger because they're eating all our leftovers. Now, Mark, you're a rat expert.
Today
you're my team rat expert. What do you think rats have a bad reputation? A bit unnecessary?
A lot of the time, we give them bad reputation because they're very good at what they do, as are humans. So they'll take over certain areas. There's lots of food and lots of housing and things like that, and then they'll reproduce and then expand themselves. So they're quite similar to what we do.
And are these an average size for a rat now? Because they're talking about super rats.
Yeah, these are Rattus novinicus. These are the ones that we're actually seeing in the wild. They're not the black rat, they're the brown rat. And these are adult sizes.
Janet, you're going to hold one?
I don't mind holding one. I've had one in my living room, unfortunately. Oh. Because I live in the City of London, and I think every time they build a new building, they disturb the rat colony that's under our streets.
Yes, so they have to move.
And the poor rats, I feel quite sorry for them, have to move, and they were there before us, and unfortunately one decided to move into my living room. I don't know how it got in the house.
I have to say, I feel sorry for the rat moving into
the rats that are prowling under our streets are not as clean as these. I mean, there's all sorts of health hazards connected.
Yeah, no, they carry a thing called Weil's disease, and they also carry, you know, fleas and ticks and things like that because of they're in their own environment.
Has this one got fleas and ticks?
No, these have all been tested and clean. This is a little lady.
Don't you let it go.
No, I'm going to let it go. But look, rats have got an unfair reputation.
It's quite cute.
Look.
Yeah, that's not the kind of rat I imagine.
It's getting very, very nervous.
It's not the sort of rat what you find in the underground, is it?
Ooh! Well, let's say it's...
Don't drop it! No, I won't drop it. I'm going to hold it, because I was in the jungle with them and I managed to avoid them. So, yeah, there you go, I've held it. Poo bums!
Mark, what should people do if they encounter a rat in their garden or in their house? I mean, they are attracted by all the rubbish that we leave outside in bags.
The thing is, if you're going to feed the birds, make sure that the food stays on the bird table, maybe put some guards underneath so that they can't get to that. Because wherever there is food, you're going to encourage them to come in. So give them discouragements, you know, put your food away into the bins, get your bird tables protected, don't leave unnecessary food out. And there's no reason for them to come.
This story of them getting bigger, they're not really getting bigger, are they?
Well, they are as such, but then so are humans because of the type
obese rats. We've got obese rats now.
It's exactly what it is. Because of the rubbish food that we're throwing away, they're eating that food. And as a result of that, they're also becoming clinically obese.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to deal with that. You mean, are there rat slimming classes? Is this going to be the way of the future? But we've also got squirrels and foxes in our towns, all as a result of rubbish. Do you think we've disturbed the balance of nature?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, we've run them out of the countryside into the city. But we've got a whole new ecosystem going on. So these animals are evolving to adapt to their new environment.
Right. OK, Ruth, shall I bring one over to you?
No,
Kimberley, ready to get a rat?
Not safe for me, I don't think.
No. I mean, yeah, actually, they look quite cute when they're washing their little faces, but if they're scampering around in my house or garden, it's like, no, thank you very much. Mark, thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
They do look like sweet, but I don't want to.
Kimberley's going like this, like, ooh, lovely.
Like,
yes,
when are the rats going to be gone?
OK, we've got a competition for you now. If your car, house or even your hair needs a bit of a fix-up, that could all happen if you win our prize, £40,000. Take a look at this if you fancy your chances of winning big.
Think you can't be a Loose Women winner? Well, think again.
Wow, this does happen.
This series alone, we've given away over £320,000 in cash and had 14 winners. Now we need another lucky viewer to grab this week's huge prize of £40,000 in tax-free cash. For your chance to join our lovely Loose Women Winners Club with £40,000, just call 0904 161 1000. Calls cost no more than £1.54 from BT Landlines. Calls from other networks may be higher and from mobiles will be considerably more. Text WIN to 65029. Text costs £1.50 plus one standard network rate message. You can also enter for free at the website. Entrance must be 18 or over. Entries made after lines close on Sunday the 6th of April at 5 p.m. will not be counted but may still be charged. Best of luck.
Yeah, have a go at that. Great competition. Now, if you want a tip for a perfect page-turner for your holiday, summer holiday this year, then look no further than our next guest's new novel. Now, her love life reads like a book too, because she married one of Hollywood's top comedy talents, Chris O'Dowd. Please welcome broadcaster and author Dawn O'Porter. Did you see the rats?
I couldn't have held them. I can't believe you did.
It's all right, I've cleaned my fingers.
Yeah, I mean, I just... mice I can see as possibly verging into cute. Rats...
But where you live in Los Angeles, rats...
There are rats, and apparently one was in my garden the other day and I wasn't there, so I was pleased about that. But the idea of jumbo rats, that's too much.
Obese rats.
Obese rats.
Super
They're taking over the
super
world.
rats. And what about pollution? Have you, because you obviously live in LA now, but have you noticed this smog in London? Has it affected you?
Well, I didn't actually hear about it until I got here, because I've been in a bit of a bubble for the last few days, but I've been really congested and snotty and feeling a bit grim, and I've realised that's probably why. And upsettingly, this afternoon is the only afternoon I've had off in ages, and I just wanted to go for a massive walk.
Oh, no.
And apparently that's what we're not supposed to do.
Probably not the best idea.
Yeah,
maybe just get one. Anyway, Dawn's here to talk not about rats and smog, but her new book, Goose. And this is... Well, I suppose it's a follow-up, really, isn't it, to your first book, Paper Aeroplanes, where we had your two girls, Flo and Renee. And so where do we meet them now in their lives?
So it's only a year and a half later, and I think when they're 15-year-olds in the first book, and in this one they're 17 and 18 and just about to fly the nest.
Oh, that difficult age.
Exactly, and I think for friends at that age, it's a really important time because you're facing the thought that you're not actually going to be together. Can you survive? Can you be friends? Are you going to make
my best friend and I, hi Jenny, literally standing at Victoria Station sobbing our hearts out. I was only going to Cornwall, going, will I ever see you again? I love you too, you'll be my best friend forever. Because it is very intense, that kind of teenage girl friendship, best friendship.
I think we all have friends like that, but I had a friend that I could never imagine that she wouldn't be my friend. But then when I went to university, I never spoke to her again.
That's it, you get a whole new life. That when you're a teenager and you have your quite small existence, you think that those people that you're surrounded by will be the centre of your life forever. You don't know that you're going to meet all these other people, you're going to have all these other experiences. So when you've got to say goodbye to it, it just feels like the end. It's really depressing.
And did that happen to you? Is that where this story's coming from? Because I know you said the first one was kind of semi-autobiographical. How do you say that one?
Autobiographical.
Thank you. That one. Is this based on things that happen to you still?
There's a lot of me in it, and Renee is so obviously the same kind of person that I am. And
so you were a bit of a rebel.
Bit of a rebel.
Slight rebel.
A bit racy.
Yeah. foot in mouth, and yes, possibly a bit racy. But I think it's kind of moved a lot more into fiction. The school's the same as the one I went to. I drove the same car. There's a lot of me in there, but the story has moved a lot more into fiction, which is great. But I definitely had that feeling because I got brought up on Guernsey, surrounded by water. It's a real feeling of escape when you get to that point where you're going to leave. And I think it's slightly heightened by the fact that you are surrounded by water. You really do kind of look out to sea going, what is beyond? What's out there? And so that's what that was. And I remember that feeling very clearly, thinking, I cannot achieve the things that I think I want to achieve in my life on this island, so just get me off it.
I think loads of people that are from small towns or whatever do have that feeling, and it's like, whether or not, as in the book, you're the same as your friend and you want to go in the same direction, and if not, then inevitably you do end up parting and potentially not being friends. It's quite sad.
And also in the book, your character, that is sort of based on you, loses her mum at 7, which you lost your mum at 7. So has it helped you sort of come to terms with losing your mum in this book?
It was, obviously, it's nearly 30 years ago, so I think I'd come to terms with it, but what I'd never really done until I wrote Paper Airplanes is got it all out. And I was writing about this teenage girl who'd gone through this horrible thing, and I kept kind of, pens down, go into the room that Chris was in and say, God, Renee's just had this awful thing, it's so sad, and that happened to me. And you realise I realised what I'd gone through.
Yeah.
So it was very cathartic in that way. I definitely feel that as a person, after writing Paper Airplanes, I just kind of went, that's better. Like,
and so is
it's
it
out.
easier to write the second book,
Definitely.
having done that? Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you
And
enjoy
also,
it more?
I definitely enjoyed it more. Also, I think when you're doing a sequel, one of the hardest things about the first book is that you don't know the characters. You're working out who they are. As soon as I sat down to write Goose, I knew exactly who the girls were. So that part of it was a lot easier.
Yeah. So is LA a bit different to Guernsey then?
It's slightly different to Guernsey. LA's great, though. I think it's got a really bad reputation. I think you can have, you know, all sorts of experiences there. My experience has been really good.
But don't you find it like such a fake world? I lived there and worked there for a while, quite a long time ago, and I just could not believe how far it was to go anywhere. You're in this massive city that seemed to have no centre. It was like a series of villages.
Well, we have a house that's right in the heart of West Hollywood. Like, a lot of people live up in the hills and they live quite far away from shops and bars and pubs. And for Chris and I, the most important thing is that we're walking distance to a pub. That's kind of whenever we move anywhere, that's it. Are we near a really good coffee shop and a pub? Because that's what we do. So I walk everywhere. I actually we have a nice little commuting area where we are. And you know what? I think with anywhere, there are some really vacuous people in LA. They're not our friends.
Yeah.
You know, we've got lovely friends. We have big Sunday lunches with wonderful people, and our life socially isn't really that much different from when we're in London.
That is Dawn O'Porter, keeping it real, people. Thank you very much, Dawn.
Thank you.
So that's Dawn's book, Goose, out now. Does growing up mean growing apart? Think about that one. Now, in just a moment.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. I've never been this far away from home. And oh my God, I can't believe it.
My friend Craig went on holiday and won a twisting competition.
Yes, it's the voice coach and Kaiser Chief singer Ricky Wilson. Thursday through Swimming. Now, The Voice reaches its dramatic climax this weekend. We've got the final. The four coaches are going to be battling it out to make sure that their acts reign supreme. So the gloves are well and truly off for Kylie, will.i.am, Tom Jones and our guest today, Ricky Wilson.
Lovely to meet you. Lovely to see you.
Hi, love. How are you? You have to pull your chair and let that man through.
Oh, crikey.
Breathe in.
How you doing?
Breathe in.
Lovely to meet you. Hello.
Hello, love.
Good to see you again. I bump into her all the time in Islington.
We live...
Do you?
Yeah.
You're busy.
We're always down Chapel
Do you
Market
see her around the
together.
recycling bins?
Crouching behind the bins. No.
Are you a recycler? Do you do your bin?
Me?
Yeah.
Of course. Well, you have to round our way, don't you?
Yeah, we
You
have
get
to.
into trouble.
We get
Do
fined.
you get bin police coming out? Yeah.
I am a bin police.
Ricky, can I ask you about being a judge on The Voice?
You can ask me about being a coach.
Coach, yeah.
Oh, yes. We
Gotta
don't
get that
call you
right.
judges, do we?
What's it like?
What's it like?
Yeah.
First it was terrifying, and now it's coming to the end. I'm going to miss it, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I really have enjoyed it. It's been a hell of a journey, an experience. That
You've got quite emotional at times, haven't you?
No,
Like,
no,
even
that's all for
teary.
the cameras.
Even teary.
Yeah, you're not looking emotional now.
I'm keeping on my toes. I know what this is like.
We'll
How
be very
competitive
gentle.
is it going to be?
Oh, well, you wouldn't be in the music industry if you weren't really competitive. So
Yeah. Have you got little tricks to psych the others out?
No, it's lipstick on my mug, look.
Is that mine?
That's Dawn, I think.
It's actually mine. Any tricks? No, I just go with my heart, and because I want the best person to win, and I know that that's my person. Christina Marie.
Final, Christina Marie. So the final
has got an incredible voice.
She is
I just
incredible,
have to say,
isn't she?
she can seriously sing.
Yeah, she can.
If you were a contestant and you four judges were there, or you four coaches were there, which coach would you choose if you were a contestant? will.i.am. It goes without saying. He's a producer, isn't he?
Exactly. It makes sense. I wouldn't go with me.
No.
So what are you offering?
What am I offering?
Yeah. Sell yourself to me. If I was a singer and you were going to be my coach, what is it? Come on,
I'd have to hear you
Ricky.
sing first.
I can't sing a note.
Well, go with Will.
Come on.
No, I actually got a bit upset the other day because we all had to do a final VT where we took people off somewhere, and Will took his to Buckingham Palace, and and Tom's Tom, and Kylie went on stage with Justin Timberlake, and I was like, I don't know.
Go for a cup.
Yeah, we had breakfast. That was it. And I was like, you know, and I said, you know, I can't offer you anything like this, but if you want to win, stick with me.
You should have brought them to Loose Women.
I should have done.
We would have showed them a good time.
You know what? I've really enjoyed watching you on there, because obviously we met years and years ago, and you are quite a shy character, and I feel like I've enjoyed watching you come out of yourself and like do such a great job on there. Did you find it difficult at the beginning?
I did actually, yeah. You can't get away with being shy on Saturday Night TV.
Innit? I know.
And I had to throw myself into the deep end, and I thought I could do it, and
you did.
And I didn't want to let anyone down, so I don't think I've done that. So.
You've done amazingly.
What do your bandmates think of you being
what do they think about it? We all were worried about it at first. We had a big meeting in Leeds about it.
Is it like a democracy where they all have to vote for you? It's OK for you to do it? Is it collective?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it wasn't like I went, you know, I've been offered this. It was always, we've been offered this, and it was like something that we could see the benefits of, but then...
So if they'd have said no, would you have said, fine, OK,
oh,
they thought
no
it wasn't...
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Did it scare you?
Oh, yeah, of course it did. It's terrifying. It's
huge
TV.
thing.
I'm not good at TV.
And what persuaded you to do it?
The money.
And also you can promote your album.
The thing is, that was it. It's all about the record for me, and we were so proud of the record, we had to give it every chance.
Talking of promoting the record, there's a link.
Yeah.
So the album is Education, Education, Education and War. I haven't misread that. It actually is three educations.
It's a mouthful, isn't it?
So is that based on Tony Blair's speech about education, education?
Kind of, but, you know, we're not politicians and we don't want to get political. We still want to make people dance, but...
but it is a political statement.
We couldn't resist the joke, really, because there's politics in everything, and we don't really write love songs that well, so we write about life, so that's where that came from.
And the single, Coming Home, what's that about?
It's about coming home.
You did actually do it in Leeds,
yeah, we did do it.
We
used to go to the same pub, didn't we?
Yeah.
Probably about the same time, but I never saw you.
But how come
well, you were probably out of my league.
Not anymore, now you look like this.
Do you want to have a look at the single, the new single?
Yeah.
Have a look. Is that right that you did that in one take? So it's just one long shot?
One take, but it was about take 45.
I was going to say, is that
one
just
shot,
the laziest
then,
video ever? So
well,
no. Had to do like
we thought it was the laziest video, because I was like, this is a great plan, because we can only do it in one day.
Yeah.
They can't make us do it over 2 days or 3 days. We're like, one shot, but it took a long time.
And what does your girlfriend think of your new image?
She thinks it's ridiculous. But it takes a lot to ruffle her feathers, so she doesn't really...
Is she enjoying it?
She has to live with me as well. So, you know.
So
that's her there. Hello, Leslie.
There she is. Yeah. And who is Christina Marie's biggest competition, do you reckon, this Saturday? So you've got Jamie, Jermaine and Sally.
I think
you
Sally.
obviously want her to win, think she's going to win, believe she will win.
They're all in with a chance, but I honestly think Christina Marie is the best, and if you want the best person to win, you'd be voting for her on Saturday.
There you are. OK. And do you do a duet? You do a duet with her as well, do you, on this
I am going to be singing with her,
Yeah.
Which is terrifying, because she's too good. I mean, I've got through this just by jumping around and, you know, shouting a bit, and, you know, but she can sing.
Causing a riot.
I never caused one, just predicting.
OK, well, don't miss it. So the album's out, the new single, Coming Home, is out, and The Voice final this Saturday, 7 o'clock, BBC One. Do not miss it. Thank you very much, Ricky Wilson. Competition time again. You could win a rather nice £40,000. Have a look at this.
Here at Loose Women, we love great giveaways, and so do you. So far this series alone, we've given away 4 cars, 3 holidays, and over £320,000 in cash. But get ready, this is your chance to cash in on a huge £40,000 in tax-free cash. And all you have to do is just call 0904 161 1000. Calls cost no more than £1.54 from BT landlines. Calls from other networks may be higher, and from mobiles will be considerably more. Text WIN to 65029. Text costs £1.50 plus 1 standard network rate message. You can also enter for free at the website. Entrance must be 18 or over. Entries made after lines close on Sunday the 6th of April at 5 p.m. will not be counted but may still be charged. Best of luck.
Now, coming up, we've got an amazing story for you. This is the teacher who gave his kidney to save not a member of his family, but one of his pupils. Talking to him after this. Welcome back to Thursday on Loose Women. Now, did you see the picture today? Prince Andrew, he's ruffling a few feathers because he's broken royal protocol. Yes, how naughty. He's been tweeting. There he is. He took a selfie last night inside St James's Palace. Not his best look, is it really? Not his best angle. This was a charity event last night, and he is the first member of the royal family to take a selfie in the palace. So, do you like that? See, they like that. What do you think of that? Is it, they're saying breaking royal protocol? Is it just not something that we all do now?
He's doing it for a charity. It's not a very flattering picture, but then we all had to do selfies. Well, we didn't have to. We wanted to do selfies the other day for Fiona Cunningham that came in. We had to take our makeup off, so they weren't the most flattering shots, but we were doing it for the right reason. So,
yes. So you don't have a problem... Because this was the charity, Janet, isn't it, called Pitch at Palace, which is for students to start up.
I think it's a really good charity. I'm just sorry that, you know, they've got him making such a fool of himself to promote such a worthy cause. I mean, do you know what he looks like? My boiled egg I'm going to have on Easter. I always draw a little smiley face on my boiled egg, and it looks exactly like that Prince Andrew picture, so I'm going to cut it out and stick it on my egg.
I'd put you off your breakfast, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Does it bother you?
You know what? It does look like a bit of a plonker, but it doesn't really bother me that much. I think that probably the way the world is now becoming, they probably feel like, even the royals feel like they need to get involved with Twitter and, you know, social media. So maybe they're scared of being...
Well, he hasn't got a real job, so maybe he can go around and take other people's space.
But they do get accused, don't they, of being out of touch and things. And this is what everybody's doing now. We're all doing the selfies, and, you know, if you do a charity event, you know, if I'm going to a charity event, I'd always put it on Twitter to try and promote it. So is he doing anything different than anybody who's involved in a charity?
Well, if you look back at kind of Middle Ages and Tudor times, Prince, for example, Henry VIII had his portrait painted millions and millions of times to promote this image of royalty. And isn't it funny that we can go to the National Portrait Gallery and see amazing portraits of the royal family, and here we are in 21st century and we got that. I mean, it's a bit of a comment on the monarchy, because actually I'm a big supporter of the Queen, but you know, look at that.
But maybe but if that was the Queen, then you wouldn't have a problem, because you go, oh, I love the Queen.
No, the Queen would have a lovely hat and matching coat on. The Queen would have picture approval.
Yeah, she'd have had someone take it from a high angle.
Yeah.
So that it's flattering.
Yeah, and Kimberley knows the flattering. Yeah. So I quite like a selfie because I've got very long arms and it gets rid of the double chin.
Yeah, me too.
And I can do a smouldering picture.
Have you ever had a portrait done of yourself?
No, I've never had a portrait done. I haven't got a picture of me up in my house. It's all about my children and my
Not even a photograph?
Not even a photograph. There's lots of photographs, but I just don't want to see myself.
What about all those
wall.
front covers you'd have done for
They're all
those
in
magazines?
a garage somewhere. My agent had them. My agent had them all put in frames, and they're all down there in a corner somewhere. The kids would kill me if I started putting pictures of myself up. But I just thought you might like this, Janet. As a little memorial.
Do you know
put that on your boiled egg?
I can put that in my living room along with my 6 portraits of myself. It's myself as Dracula, by the way. They're not...
Think about that. Anyway, it's competition time for you again. You've got the details of how you could win £40,000.
We love all our winners, and believe me, there are many of them all over the UK. Just this series, we've given away over £320,000 in cash, 4 cars and 3 holidays. Now is your chance to join our Lucky Winners Club by winning this week's whopping £40,000 in tax-free cash. And all you have to do is just call 0904 161 1000. Calls cost no more than £1.54 from BT landlines. Calls from other networks may be higher, and from mobiles will be considerably more. Text WIN to 65029. Text costs £1.50 plus 1 standard network rate message. You can also enter for free at the website. Entrance must be 18 or over. Entries made after lines close on Sunday the 6th of April at 5 p.m. will not be counted but may still be charged. Best of luck.
Now, a recent poll has found that acts of kindness are decreasing, with just 2 in 5 adults saying that they would give up their seat for an elderly person on public transport. Charities have also commented that too many people are turning their backs on the most vulnerable people in society, and that we need more Good Samaritans. So, is the Good Samaritan in us all actually disappearing? Are we so wound up in our own lives, we don't see people that need help, we don't do anything selfless anymore?
Do you know what? I think that statistic, 2 in 5 wouldn't sit down for an elderly person, is quite horrifying, because I think, you know, we should all be brought up to do that standardly. You know, we shouldn't need to be encouraged to do that. And I know for me, I particularly feel for old people. I do. And, you know, it really, really does bother me. And I have next-door neighbours, and I look out for them. I was brought up in a small village in Bradford, and my mum would tell us, you know, go and sit with the lady over the road for an hour, or I'd go and do some painting with her, and we'd do shopping for them. And I want to bring my kids up to do that, because I think it's really important. But maybe it is dying out. I don't think there's as much community spirit, obviously, in London.
Well, I was saying, I was watching, they did a big report on one of the news the other night about how many old people feel so lonely that they go for days sometimes without seeing anybody. And whenever I see things like that, it does prick my social conscience, and I think I really ought to, you know, you all do things for your family, your close family, but I thought I really ought to do something, you know, get Jack and we'll get involved with Age Concern or something, and we'll go and visit an old people in our area, or take a cake, or... But then I actually don't do it. And I mean, I do, you know, I'm an ambassador for a charity, and I do that kind of thing, but that very personal thing of just going to visit a neighbour...
It's
and actually,
easier in the
just
countryside,
time.
I think. I think a lot of people watching this programme will feel if they live in villages or in rural communities, it's just part of... it just happens anyway. You just do look out for other people, and if you don't see them, someone will... You know, you might say it's nosy neighbours, but it's well-intentioned. But I think once you get into a big city, people don't know who lives on either side of them, or who, even in their block of flats. So how we reignite all that?
Because I've lived in Islington all my life, and like growing up in Islington, I knew all my neighbours, and we've moved to different streets or whatever, but I don't know any of the neighbours now. It's like people are moving in and moving out, places are being rented out, so it's short stay, so you never really get to know your neighbours like you used to. So I think that's a lot to do with it as well.
So we all feel that we should do a little bit more. We could do more. So yes, we stand slack wrist today. And we've got a real-life Good Samaritan in our audience today. I want to introduce you to Ray Coe. Where are you, Ray? There he is. Ray is a teacher, and in February, Ray gave one of his kidneys, not to a family member, to one of his students. Ray, this is, And that picture you saw there, 13-year-old Alia, who has severe learning difficulties because she's had hydrocephalus, is that right?
That's correct, yes.
And she's been on dialysis. So what made you do that for somebody that's nothing to do with your family?
It just seemed the natural thing to do, really. I was at school, and Mum had phoned up to say that Alia wouldn't be in school for a while because she was having dialysis treatment. So naturally, as a teacher, I wanted to know what we could do for her during the school time. And then something just came to me and just said, well, what can I do personally? Mum said, what do I mean by that? And I said, well, can I just put my name down to be a donor? And it just went on from there.
And then Elaine, your wife's sitting next to you. Elaine, when he told you that, I would be completely shocked if my husband suddenly said, oh, I thought I'd give a kidney to, you know, one of the guys I work with, or... What did you think about it?
Initially, when he first told me, it took a bit like to... What's he saying? But there was no doubt that it was the right thing to do. I didn't once think, should he be doing this? I just thought, yeah, that's right. If anyone could do it, it would be Ray.
Do you have your own children?
Yeah, we have one daughter.
And did that make you think, you know, if this was happening to our daughter, wouldn't it be wonderful if someone else would do this for our daughter?
Yeah.
And so they did all the tests for you, you were a match, and you had this operation in February, did you say?
That's correct.
So how is Alia now?
Fantastic. You know, she's made really good recovery. She's off dialysis now. She had lines into her heart. They've been taken out. She's walking around. And the really good thing is, before when she was on dialysis, they had to be careful of her diets, what she was eating, what she was drinking. But now she can eat and drink what she wants. So,
I was reading that Alia's father has said about you, you really are a hero and a lifesaver. I know you're being very modest about it all. He said that Ray has given her more than just the gift of life. He's an amazing man, and we owe him so much. Dr. Hillary's with us as well, and a most amazing act of selflessness, kindness, bravery, I would say, as well, because, you know, you do put yourself at risk having any operation, don't you?
There is a slight risk involved in the operation, but we can all live quite happily with one kidney. We don't actually need two. But to take the step of this wonderful act of compassion, of humanity and generosity for a teacher, I think is an amazing example to all of us. Lots of people here. It really is. Lots of people in this audience are quite capable of donating a kidney. It's a huge step, and I think the reason not enough of us come forward is because we don't know enough about it.
Can I just ask, actually, interestingly,
Sure.
we were talking about who... I'm a donor and I'm on the register. Are you donors? You're on the register? Janet hasn't gone on it yet.
I haven't gone on it, and now I've heard this story, I'm definitely going to sign up.
Fantastic.
And I'm going to... I think it's so... When I read that there are 6,000 people on dialysis waiting for a kidney, and yet we only do 3,000 transplants a year, it's just shocking. So we're condemning these people to be connected to machines completely unnecessarily. And, you know, I feel embarrassed that I haven't, you know, signed one of those organ donor cards. I know some of my parts might be a bit clapped out, but I'm sure they'll be useful to other people.
And can we just ask the audience, just by a show of hands, who is a registered donor? Have you been on the website? And
it's quite
so not bad, actually. Well, yeah, not bad. And actually, Hilary, I was always a card-carrying donor, but then that's kind of gone. They're now saying people still think they are, but you need to register on this website, which we'll put the details on our website, by the way.
The organ donor register, that's right. And tell your relatives what your intentions are as well, to avoid any problems should something happen. But it's pretty straightforward. Your tissue types, your blood groups, you're matched. A third of all donors now are relatives. They're related to the recipients. But increasingly altruistic donation is being carried out. So last year there were 107 people who donated their healthy kidney to a complete stranger.
And what about age?
And
Janet mentioned hers might be a bit clapped out.
No, you're OK.
Is she all right? Is there no age restriction?
No, provided you're healthy, provided you pass all the tests, and you'll get stringent tests to make sure that you are healthy and capable of donating a healthy kidney. Really, age is not a great restriction, so as low as 18 and upwards. People are eligible.
So please, if you're just carrying the card and you haven't registered on the website, please do, because it's really important. And as Dr. Hilary said, you need to tell your family. Ray, if I come back to you, when you see Alia now looking so much better, she now walks to the hospital, doesn't she, for some of her treatment, which I know is continuing. What do you feel when you look at that young woman now?
Well, for me, my admiration actually goes more to the NHS. You know, it was just amazing the way it just all worked out together, and the stringent tests and just the care and the aftercare that was there. So I'm just, you know, it's just so fantastic that she's had the kidney transplant, but there's ongoing care that's needed.
Well, we think you are an absolute hero. Another round of applause for Ray, please. And Alia, if you're watching, keep up the good work, keep very well, and we'll be back tomorrow. See you then. Bye-bye.